Talking with Topher, episode 26. That's right. 6 months has passed since I started this thing, and here I am, episode 26. I'm more than excited to be doing this. First of all, second of all, I just want to thank everybody, as always, for subscribing, listening, and hitting those like buttons, sending your comments. Comments are super important. That's what helps rise this thing to the top. So if you got comments, please put them in the comment section. If you're a new listener, thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe, hit the like buttons if you enjoy the videos. And as always, word of mouth is everything. I need more subscribers. We all do, right? I want to make this bigger and better every week. And I need your help to do that. So spread the word, tell people. And, if you see somebody that's struggling and one of my episodes struck you in a way, well, send it to them. See if it strikes them the same. I'm just here trying to help people do better than I did, kind of getting through this life. And that really brings me to, what I wanted to get into this week, which was, my journey through school. It wasn't an easy one. I was pretty much going to flunk out. But let's see. I was in junior high, which would have been 92, 93. That is when I was actually doing pretty well in school. Wasn't too into drugs or anything then. Really didn't get into it until I hit about 14, which is about when I got into high school. So I did really well in junior high. My grades were good. I was like a B average. Nothing spectacular. Did very well in math, stuff like that. So when I was going into high school, I thought I was doing pretty good. So I signed up for some pretty hefty classes. We used to have levels of A, B, and C level classes. We also got letter grades. I think you guys are like numbers or symbols now. I don't even know what's going on in school. I tried to watch my nephew do a math problem, or my niece, and it was just really confusing. They make them do all kinds of stuff today. I was like, I don't even know what you're doing. Algebra was easier. But so I go into high school, thinking that I'm doing, good, and I sign up for some hard courses. I set myself up. God, I want to say they would tell you to sign up for like 6 or 7 credits, something like that. I signed up for like 9. I really filled my plate. I thought I was going to be putting myself into a great position to move into the next year. What I was doing was I was trying to compile as much as possible in the first couple years. That way junior and senior year were lighter. And it ended up working out that way anyways, but it didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to. So I had some high hopes when I first got into high school. I think like most of us do, or almost all of us do. Thought it was going to be different than junior high. Turns out that it was a little bit more isolating than junior high, because you don't realize when things get bigger and there's more people, it's kind of easier to get lost in the shuffle. So things like that were going on. I was still trying to find myself. I think I was listening to a lot of metal, a lot of metal, some more grunge, a lot of yelling and screaming in there. Nirvana was huge at the time, so a lot of grunge. This is before he shot himself, or Courtney shot him. Maybe the world will never know. And then, so I was skateboarding a lot. That was fun. So I found like a small crowd that I fit in with for the most part. And then probably a quarter of the way through my freshman year, I got stoned for the first time. I had already drank, and getting alcohol and cigarettes wasn't a problem because my dad always had them. So it wasn't like it was something I was looking for. But then my friends introduced me to acid. And that was something that I really, really enjoyed. So I would take all the money that I could get and I would put it all into acid, and I'd sell it, and I'd use it, and, just not doing anything that you're supposed to, just being a teenager experimenting. And I basically got it so I could sell it so I could get it again. It was just like so it could replenish itself. And just like almost everything I did, everything I do actually is, kind of one of those deals. Even today, I'll buy something and then I'll upgrade it and I'll sell the old. So it was one of those things where I would do that. And I got really, really into it. So probably about halfway through my my freshman year, I was tripping during class. We would be halfway through school and we'd eat it there, and then you'd be tripping before you left. I mean, it was a wild time. And the reason I say that is because I don't remember most of my freshman year because of that. I was, drinking screwdrivers that I pre-mixed on the school bus in the morning. I mean, it was just anything I could do to pretty much change the environment for the day. I was doing those things, and I wasn't concentrating on my schoolwork or anything like that. So by the time my freshman year was over, I had failed. I had failed my freshman year. All those credits I stacked up. I really do want to say it was 9. I don't have any way to look that up, I don't think, but I think it was like 9 credits I set myself up for, and I think I wound up getting like 3.5. Like it was bad. Not only did I not hit my goal, but I also held myself back. So I was in a freshman homeroom, and the only reason I was even considered a freshman sophomore is because technically it was still my second year. So all my friends had moved on to sophomore homerooms. I was in a freshman homeroom, is how I believe it worked. And like I said, my freshman year going into my sophomore year are very fuzzy. Very, very fuzzy. I was not paying attention to any of that stuff. I was basically just faking it. I was faking it, I was just trying to get it done, and it turns out I couldn't do it while manipulating my brain with alcohol, drugs, and anything else I could get my hands on. So I really had to clean it up. I had to fix everything that I had ruined freshman year. So technically the amount of credits that I needed to pass and become a sophomore, I believe, was 3.5. And 2 of those were English. So I had a freshman English and a sophomore English. So I spent about half of my sophomore year slacking off, still trying to find myself, still only paying attention to my art. We were doing commercial art at the time, just focusing in on that. Math I failed, English I was failing, and then I had to be spoken to and told that if I fail my sophomore year as well, that I may not be able to catch up and then graduate with my class. And at that time, I didn't really care about that. There wasn't many people in my class that I was really, really tight with. I had some good friends. I had some people that I like to get fucked up with. But for the most part, there wasn't anybody that I wasn't hanging out with that they were failing too, or they've dropped out, or they were doing this. So I was like, oh, it's no big deal. I mean, if I end up failing out, then I'll just be able to hang out with them more. So I had those things going on. And then somewhere around then, now this is, what's the middle of a school year? You figure if you start school in September, you got October, November, December, January. So probably around January or February. So now my parents are talking to me because they've had some notifications go home about my grades. They've talked to me about it. I'm not listening. I'm snorting Ritalin. I'm taking acid. I'm smoking pot all the time. I'm drinking whenever I can get my hands on it. So I'm just a mess. I'm not listening to them. And then my dad looked at me and he said, You're not going to graduate. There's no way it's happening. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, you keep going down this road, you're never going to graduate, and me and your mother need to accept this. And, and that really stuck with me. I was pissed off because he told me I couldn't do something. And when that hit me, I just kind of held on to that. And I went into school next day, whatever, maybe the weekend passed and it's the next week now. But I remember going back into school and figuring out what I needed to do in order to pass and graduate on time. And so I went to the counselor or whoever you go to. There's like a high school administrator, organizer person. And I would talk to him. And I talked to him and I told him, I was like, look, I'm failing. I know I'm failing. What can I do to fix this and turn it around? What are my options? Because I don't want to go this route anymore. I want to graduate because I want to prove my parents wrong. I wanted to prove everybody in my family wrong. My aunts, my uncles, just everybody. Everybody was like, this kid's never graduating. He's not going to make it. He's a complete fuck up. Winter's right around the corner. And along with winter comes dry skin. And if you're looking for something to help you with that this winter or in general, well, then check out naturalbossnh.com. That's right. naturalbossnh.com. They have a brand new salve that they started selling a couple weeks ago, and this stuff is great. It's helping with my dry skin on those cold mornings that we've gotten a few times. They're going to keep coming. Winter's around the corner. So go to naturalbossnh.com. Check out the brand new salve. If you haven't already checked them out, they also have a hand sanitizer. That's right. This hand sanitizer is one that I personally use all the time. It's been amazing. It allows me to go shopping and then wash my hands after I've been shopping, and I don't stick to my steering wheel. So it's just been a phenomenal product. Just like all their products are great. They're handmade. They are right here locally in New Hampshire, and it's just awesome to support small business. So go to naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com and get your hand sanitizer or salve or both today. Now I got the motivation from my parents putting me down and telling me that I'm not going to graduate, and also family members telling me I'm not going to graduate. So now I've got that motivation. So I take it to this guy, I'm talking to him, and he's like, all right, so if you really want to fix everything, you need to finish 2 credits of English, a whole bunch of shit. So now I'm the last half of sophomore year, I'm playing catch up. I have now changed all my classes to C average classes. So they're the easiest of the easy. And I'm only doing exactly what I need to do to graduate high school. They told me, you do this, you will graduate. And I made sure that everything else that I was doing for art and getting that, set up, so that when I graduated, I had like an art degree, in commercial art and drawing and stuff, because I thought I was going to do like commercial art. I thought I was going to be an artist, and well, I'm not. So that's fine. But that's what I thought I was doing in high school. I really didn't have any other. I never looked out into the world and was like, this is what I'm doing. I was always one of those people that looked out there and was like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just trying to get through this the best that I can. And that's exactly what I did. I took my C classes. I hustled my ass for the last half of sophomore year. Gained a credit by finishing off a few courses and passing them. I went from the freshman homeroom to the junior homeroom. So I never saw a sophomore homeroom. I missed that. But by the time I went into my junior year, I had enough credits to actually be considered a junior. But my grade average or the points or something was still keeping me a sophomore. So now I'm a junior sophomore, where before I was a freshman sophomore. So if you're in that homeroom, they call you that first, and then where you're supposed to be second. If you're in the homeroom, you are what you are, but you're still considered a sophomore. It's really weird. I don't even know if they do anything like this anymore. And so now I'm in a junior homeroom. I'm still considered a sophomore to a sense, and I really got to hustle my junior year. I have to have all my ducks in a row by the end of the year. So now I'm doing back-to-back English classes for at least half the year. And I have to make up all this other shit. I have to do all these tests. And so I'm getting through junior year. I'm still doing some of the stuff that I was doing when I was in my freshman year, but I backed off a lot, left it to the weekends, or if we were going anywhere, which we really weren't going anywhere. If I really think about it, I graduated when I was 18. I was always one of the older, actually, I think I was usually the older person in the group. So I was I was a senior, right? No, I was a senior when I was 18. So that means I was a junior when I got my license, and you're supposed to get it when you're like a sophomore, when you turn 16. But yeah, so if we were doing anything, I would leave everything for the weekend. I wasn't doing stuff during the week, mostly just my schoolwork, because I was determined to prove my parents wrong. I was determined to not graduate. I was like, this is bullshit. I know I can pull this off. So C average classes, we're pulling through. We're a junior, sophomore, getting through this English. I'm doing like mechanics class. I took on welding. Welding was really fun. I didn't do the mechanics class. One of my friends did the mechanics class. I would hang out there on a free period, because as you started getting towards a junior, if you had some free periods, you could hang out specific places, and then by the time you were a senior, they would actually, if you turned 18 during the school year, you could actually write yourself out of school and stuff. It was pretty cool. So junior year, we're getting through. I'm finishing my Englishes. I'm passing everything. I'm getting the stuff done that I need to be getting done. I'm paying attention more. I'm partying a little bit less to make this all happen, and I'm kind of taking control of my life. I'm kind of taking control of it. And by kind of, I mean, I'm still getting drunk. I'm still doing stupid shit. You can only be so put together by then, I feel. And then I finish out my junior year, and I have now completely caught up. I got all the credits that I need to graduate. They're all right there for me. I just have to finish out my senior year. And I made sure I had nothing to do my senior year except for all the stuff that they were like, you have to do this. There's no choice. So, of course, there was English and math. But I had so many free periods. It was great. I would line everything up, so I had to be there first thing in the morning. And then I would make sure that by mid-afternoon, the schedule was clear. And that's it. I'd just go home. It was awesome. It was so much fun. Me and my friends would just write ourselves out for the day, and it was really, really great experience. Now, I never went to prom. Anything that had to do with school, I was not involved in. So I never did any of those things. I sometimes regret not going to prom, but I'm also glad I didn't go to prom because I feel like it would have turned out like the rest of my teenage years did, which is in a blackout blur and always causing something to happen. So I'm really glad that never happened on or around anybody in school, just close friends, stuff like that, or people I didn't know. And that's really where that should have been kept anyways. So now senior year, we're just killing it, going through it. Everything's super simple. I don't even have to pay attention anymore. I'm just I'm daydreaming during class, waiting to get out, waiting to, leave campus, go eat breakfast, do whatever. And I go through the senior year and I finish it off and I graduate and I get my diploma. Class of 1998 out of Pinkerton Academy, and I have my parents to thank for that, for telling me I was not going to do it. You're not going to make it through this. You're going to fail out, and I have to thank all of them for telling me that, because the reason that I made it through high school is because they told me I couldn't. And I still use this today. I use it all the time. I use it more now than I ever have. If somebody tells me I can't do something, I am way more determined to either accomplish it or put more work into it and more effort. Are you looking for a new vape shop? Well, good. I got one I can send you to. Check out New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located at 180 Lafayette Road, in between Home Depot and Smoke Rings. We're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m., and you can give us a call, 603-814-4171. You looking for a new pod device? Well, we got the brand new Nordex. Big old digital screen, goes up to 60 watts, runs off the RPM2 coil. This thing is just great. I absolutely love this product. Been using this with a couple different flavors, and you can get yours too at New Hampshire Vape Gallery. We've also got your disposables. That's right. I got 800 puffs, 300 puffs. These things are great for work around the house, work outside, construction job, whatever. Whenever you don't want to break your vape, this is when a disposable comes in handy. So get yours today at New Hampshire Vape Gallery. You're always more than welcome to come in our store, provided you wear a mask. And we are open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. And you can find us at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, in between Home Depot and Smoke Rings. I look forward to seeing you there. I showed them that I could do it, and I used their negativity as my motivation to prove them wrong. And after that, they throw me a party, and they're like, yeah, so you going to college now? And I just laughed at everybody, and I said, who's paying for it? And they said, you are. And I go, well, no, I'm not going to college. I will not be doing that. I find college to be a waste of time, money, and energy. I still believe today that a lot of people have wasted their time and money. I'm not saying everybody, and I'm not saying that it's bad if you do it. I disagree. I disagree with college. I always have. Granted, I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I didn't go to college. So does that say something? Probably. So, like I said, if you're doing it, that's great. I know a lot of people that go to school. I know a bunch of people that have gone back to school, and I know a lot of people that are in school now that don't even have to fucking be there. So, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't believe in it. I couldn't pay for it. I wasn't going to take out a loan for it. I was too busy spending my credit cards on music and records and DJ equipment to even care about getting a bill for college. Like, I wanted to go and do more school. I just proved to everybody that I could graduate. So why am I going to want to go do more school? So I told them, no, I'm not going to college. And I didn't. I got out of high school and I started work at a head shop in Nashua. So, I mean, life happens. You do what you need to do to get through it. And what I needed to do was graduate high school, get a high school diploma, so at least I didn't have to check off any other box. And now I know that I could do it if I wanted to. But I was so undecided on what I wanted to do when I got out of high school that there was no way I was making a decision on what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and then possibly going into college for that, and then getting out and having it not be what I want to do. And I wasn't prepared to make that decision. So because of that and the money, I did not go to college. And because of all the people that I've heard of, I'm really glad. The people that I've heard of that have graduated, gotten and did all this shit, and then they got out and got no job, and they were working basically at the same spot that I was working at when I just graduated high school. Now they're out of college doing the same thing. Really made me thankful that I didn't do it, because that would have been me too. Like, that was always the way I looked at stuff. Nothing ever went the way I wanted it to. And I blame me for 98% of it. It didn't go the way I wanted it to because I was always getting in the way of myself. You know, have you ever had anybody tell you that? Get out of your own fucking way. It's true for almost all of us. We all get in our own way. And you got to learn to get out of your own way. And I did what I needed to give my family the middle finger, prove to them that I'm not a dum-dum. And then I just moved on with my life, and I just went to work. So that's what I did. And that's how I made it through high school, you know? So I do the same thing with the podcast, you know? There's people out there that don't like this, and that's fine. And that's great. And you guys motivate me even more. Like, the people that subscribe and listen, and I love all your support, and I love everything, but people that put me down, and I'm not looking for people to put me down, don't get me wrong, but I know it's going to happen, and I look at those, and I go, all right, this is motivation to keep moving forward. Like, I feel like I'm doing something right. I feel like this is going to help people in the long run. That's why I keep doing this. I want to show you that we're all struggling through this. Every single one of us. None of this life is easy, and we all run into walls. So people who dislike the podcast and have to DM me and tell me, I mean, that's motivation right there to keep moving forward, to keep doing this, and not to shut down and not to let it bother me. Now, like my parents telling me I'm not going to graduate high school, did it bother me? Absolutely, 100%. But you know what? That's motivation. That's everything I need to keep moving forward, and that's exactly what I did with my parents, my family, and everyone else. I graduated high school, class of 98, from Pinkerton Academy, which at the time had one of the highest dropout rates in New Hampshire, because they really cared about their athletes and their graduating class. So they had the highest dropout rate to keep their grade point average high for their graduates. So it was really messed up. We all knew about it. I mean, if you go to any school, you know the ins and outs if you're paying attention. And it was just one of those things that I could be proud of, stuff it right back in everybody's face and give a big old fuck you. I did it, and you can't keep me from doing anything. I'll show you what I can and can't do. And like I said, I'm using that today. I'm using it with this podcast. I'm using it with life in general. I'm not saying that like I get put down all the time or I'm just getting nothing but nasty messages online, but it's still motivation. It may only be a message here or there, or it may just be an unsubscriber. It could be anything, but that's motivation to keep moving forward, to keep pushing harder, because It's just that's what we need to do. That's what everybody needs to do. Don't let anybody stop you in your tracks. Nobody can do that to you except for you. So I use this all the time in my everyday way of thinking now. And the last 4 years, everything's gotten so much easier to allow this to happen, where before this, it was much harder. I would go into a dark spot. I would get super depressed about certain things, and all of this has been such a learning experience for me, because before now, 6 months ago, I was never online. I wasn't putting anything up. I was intimidated by it, and now I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I think all of this is great. And I really want to, let everybody know that no matter who you are, you're going to have your struggles. You're going to have your ups and downs. And it's okay. It's okay. If you got positive people around you, it'll make those tough times a little bit easier. And if you got nothing but negativity around you, then just absorb that negativity and use it. Turn it around on them. If they're saying something that is the truth, like I wasn't going to graduate. That's the truth. The truth was I was going to flunk out. So if that's the truth, and I look at that and I don't graduate, then I allowed them to just predict my future. So if someone's saying something negative, then look at what they're saying negative. Is it true? Because if it's true, then you can change that. You can change that truth. If you're overweight or you're struggling in class, you can change all of that. You can change that. You have all kinds of ways to physically change. You have all kinds of ways to mentally change. We've got all kinds of ways to do these things and to help us get through this stuff. But use that negativity as motivation. Don't let that negativity hold you back. And that's my message this week. It's been a great week. I can't complain too much. I had to work 5 days in a row, which I have to say sucks. I don't like it, but it's what I had to do. Like I said, there's a give, a give and pull, or I think that's what I'm going for. But so I got a lot of time off so that I could get my nose fixed, and now my boss needs some time off so he could finish his stuff up. So it's just it's great. It's great. Working 5 days in a row sucks, but it allowed me to get a lot of stuff done at the shop that I've been wanting to do. And it's just so you got to use everything as an opportunity to better yourself. Whether you're bettering yourself physically, mentally, even if you're just doing something that you've been putting off, stupid little projects, cleaning here and there, changing out who knows, anything. But you've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I don't know about you, but when I put something off and then I go and I do it, I put it off because I was like, oh, this is going to take a little while. And it's like, nope. It took this amount of time. Why did I put this off forever? And so now I look at things that I've been putting off and I go, how long is this really going to take me? And now my list of things to do that I've been putting off, well, right now I got a couch in the garage that needs to go in the trash. And I got one other thing right around. I know I got one other thing kicking around this house that I've been kind of putting off, but it is going to take me a little while. So, but that's okay. But the list has gotten much, much smaller because now instead of putting it off, I just go, well, let's just get this done. And it winds up taking me 5-10 minutes, at the most, maybe an hour or so. But the thing has been sitting there for God knows how long. I mean, I had dirt that I was supposed to transplant my plants in the spring, and I just did it last weekend. Put it off. Oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to dig up dirt. I don't want to feel that. Why? You know how long it took me? 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes to change out dirt in 6 of my plants. so silly to put it off. Just get it done, So try to stop procrastinating. Use negativity as motivation and never let anybody hold you back. That's my message for this week. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. I'm recording this early, so when it comes out on Thursday, I really hope everybody's getting ready to enjoy the weekend. I know it's getting colder, and we're expecting some white stuff soon, but I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy. I'm just really glad that we're finally here, 6 months in, talking with Topher, episode 26. This is just phenomenal. Again, as always, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Hit the like buttons, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the new backgrounds, the new colors. Can I add anything? Tell me. Talk to me, guys. I would love to hear from all of you, all my listeners or watchers. Yeah, I just really hope everybody's gonna enjoy their week, their weekend, and after this week, I'll be able to go back to normal, probably recording on Wednesdays again. So I'll have a little bit more to talk about, but I hope everybody has a great day out there. And remember, if you are enjoying the videos, please hit those like buttons. Remember, subscribe, tell people, spread the word. I said it before and I'll say it again. If I get 100 subscribers, I've got a story. It involves alcohol, shocker, guns, SWAT team, and just a crazy, I think it was about 8 to 12 hours long. So the story won't be. The day was. So if you want to hear the story, you're excited to hear it, tell more people. Get them to subscribe. I hit that number, and I'm going to tell you that story. It's a good one. Probably one of my best ones, actually. And it's not really, it's not that it's a good story, but it's just crazy. It's a crazy time. It was a crazy time in my life, and it kind of explains a lot of why I had to really, really take care of myself. And it still took a bunch of years after that to finally get to where I am today. But yeah, it's a good one. And I'd like to see 100 subscribers on there. And I'm going to be more than happy to tell you that story. Don't forget, I have an email, talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. Feel free to send me any questions, comments, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on, Twitter. So check me out. Hope you have a great week. And I'll talk to you later.